I think you've demonstrated to the global social media sphere how to think outside of the traditional in-person relationship space. I would love to use some time to get your top tips for other people who maybe have worked in insurance or reinsurance a long time, and maybe at some point they got LinkedIn and they put some details on it, and then like many profiles we see haven't updated it since they moved jobs last and so on. People are getting the hang of professional social media, I think, with time. How important do you think it is that people use it well, and what would you say its role is going to be in the future?
I feel like LinkedIn and other social media platforms are sort of just adding to that personal relationship. Genuinely, I do feel that. And I enjoy a bit of LinkedIn. I do. I'm guilty of it. But the only reason why I'm on those sorts of platforms because it benefits me. And it's that two-way street. It's allowing people to get to know you slightly outside of, okay, this is my role and that's it and I'm siloed in it. It's allowing them to have a little glimpse into your life. Not too much. Like I keep it quite professional on my LinkedIn, and I do that on purpose. But it's allowing them to feel like they're developing a close relationship with me. And the benefit to that is, I'm able to have conversations now with prospective clients, and they feel like they know me. Yeah. How amazing is that? And so you've already sort of knocked down one or two barriers of defense, and you're having like a quite genuine, natural conversation, and that's so powerful. And I feel like as a minimum, like your LinkedIn should be up to date. If your LinkedIn is not up to date, like I'm going to be having words with you, like 100%, 100%. Yeah. The second sort of thing that you could look at is making sure you're engaging in things that people you're interested in talking to are sort of posting or getting involved in. And you can garner a lot from going through the information on someone's LinkedIn profile or going through their likes, which feels a bit stalkery, but it's honestly so valuable. You can tell what conferences they're going to, you can tell what articles they're interested in, what topics they're interested in, and it allows you to take that information away and sort of come back prepared and ready. Like I love it when I have a conversation with someone the first time. They're like, well, tell me about the diversity and inclusion stuff you do at ICANN. How do you know that? We've never spoken before. But they've gone through and they've taken the time to find out things about me, understand what I'm interested in and aligned to, and we started the conversation that way. Like that's powerful.
Yeah. And do you think, because in the past, as you're very familiar with, one of the main sources of sort of non-firm specific leadership has been like the lectures put on by the CII. You have somebody who's chosen from their peers to come and give their thoughts on a topic, but now you've got this new category of like industry influencer, which I would say you are very much one. You're sort of out there with a voice that a lot of people are listening to. Any thoughts on the emergence of that type of leader and the responsibilities it brings? Is it a Spider-Man, great power, great responsibility scenario, or is it more free to be yourself?
Yeah, it is powerful. It is powerful. I think the one thing to remember is when you're going online, whether you mean to or not, you're a spokesperson for your company first and foremost. Yeah. And for these senior leaders or people at exec level, that's powerful because they can connect with employees all over the globe. They might have hundreds of employees that they've never spoken to on an individual basis, but they feel connected in. And that's quite powerful from an employee retention point of view. It's very powerful from an incoming talent point of view. And it's powerful because you're the voice of your company without having to be just your company. Yeah. And so there's a number of people who are doing it exceptionally well. And I love seeing their stuff online. You speak to people who are employed by them. And again, some of them have never even spoken with these guys, but they're saying, yeah, great leader. Like, I love working for him. It's amazing. Yeah. And they've got that just from their LinkedIn presence and their portfolio. For their profile, not portfolio. Yeah. They've got that from their LinkedIn profile, and that's powerful. And so I do think of LinkedIn as this really underutilized tool. And if done right, it's amazing. Yeah. I mean, just look at Sam Ridgewell, right?
Yeah. We talked about the others. How would you rank the others in terms of...
You need like a leaderboard.
Professional and personal usefulness. What's nowadays... Because I'm very outdated, as we discussed right at the start of the episode. I'm probably imagining, I still call it Twitter. I don't have Twitter either, but what's out there now that we should be paying attention to? People of the reinsurance industry.
There are a lot of people doing it really well. Like Ola's a great example. Ola Jacob, I love what he does. I love how he's a spokesperson for all the good things. Russell from Swiss Re Solutions, again, he uses his LinkedIn. He's a great voice and face for his company as well. Peter Blanc, we mentioned him earlier, prolific LinkedIn user, but it works. It really does work. And when he had his presidency at the CII, which we spoke about earlier, he was able to reach so many more people than if he'd just been, you know, behind the scenes, not involved, not engaged. So I do think we need a leaderboard.
And LinkedIn's the #1 platform,
Absolutely, 100%. And then we'll get you on TikTok.
Okay.
Yeah, that's second port of call,
baby
right?
Baby steps. But I think... Go ahead.
I would say TikTok above Instagram then.
Oh, that's a tough one. I mean, Instagram, you've got the memes, haven't you?
You
The
do.
hard market memes,
Yeah.
another Lloyd's underwriter memes. Like, you're really missing out, honestly.
But not Facebook or Meta or whatever it's called. Not Twitter, not
Facebook
X.
in years.
No,
Do you use Facebook?
no, not anymore.
I've not used it in years. It's kind of just died a death, hasn't it?
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first. Going out of business today.
That's the pace of change.
But I think with social, and as you said, the professional thread of social, it allows these individuals to be authentic and to be accessible, right? Like when you get an email from Russell Higginbotham or something from Swiss Re, it's going to be in the corporate styling and it's going to read very formal and as a pronouncement to the organization upon which he leads. But if you see like something he shares on LinkedIn or makes a comment to someone else's thing and reshares that, like there's an authenticity around, like he was coming into work and saw it and from his phone as like thought this is something that I want to tell people about or highlight. Like it creates that connection to an individual more so than like the very orchestrated, emails that will go out to the company and which most people would receive. Again, the people he works with who get to see a different side of him, but those hundreds of colleagues around the world who have never met him in person might not ever get to experience any of that. And social creates that sort of accessibility point, which I think is really powerful if used well.
Absolutely. I do think there's a level of authenticity towards it. Like I said, it's showing people into a tiny snippet of your life. And don't get me wrong, I'm definitely not going to champion using it like you would other social media platforms. I would never do it. I would never suggest it for anyone else.
It's my breakfast.
Yeah, I just wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. There is a degree of professionalism about it, but it's allowing people to get that tiny bit closer towards you that really makes it feel authentic and genuine. And those are sort of roles that I think are going to be around in 10, 20, 50, 100 years' time because they're real, genuine human roles.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be using ChatGPT to write my LinkedIn. We spoke about this earlier.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I'm against it.
Yeah.